Hello, this is Orchids Done Right, and today we have a rescue orchid from Lowe's. I got it 50% off. As you can tell, it is an arrangement. There are 2 plants in here. Now, I do not recommend keeping it in this because these are actually potted in the same thing, and these 2 require different watering materials. So today, we are going to unpot this orchid and get it into a new home. First thing I'm going to do is just take off this flower spike, or stake, I mean. We will deal with the flowers at the end. I'll show you what you can do with that. Next, I'm going to see if I can pop this out. I will probably have to stop recording, so I'll come back once I get it out. Here is this plant. Just because, I will show you actually what to do with this one. So what we're going to do is I think I'm just going to take off this sphagnum moss, and I think I'm just going to put it into a pot. I'm going to put a little bit of dirt at the bottom of the pot. And then I think this plant will just go right in there, just like that. And then I'll just top it off. All right, this plant's done, and I'll just put this on the windowsill or next to its little friend over there. All right, now we're gonna deal with the orchid. As you can see, it is actually potted in orchid bark with sphagnum, so this is just great. Let's see, will it come out? No, it won't, of course. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I got the plant out. Here it is. It actually is really healthy, which is really annoying that they do this. Oh, it's falling. There goes all the sphagnum. There we go. Yeah, it's really annoying that they do this. But yeah, that's why I am saving it. Alright, there goes the sphagnum, and now we will deal with the orchid. Alright, because this plant is super healthy, I am actually going to leave this flower spike on. I will just cut it at the nodes. But right now, let's deal with this. Now you can see there was a plug. It's kind of fallen. You can see it right there. It's peat moss. I am going to remove that because honestly, I don't like it, and I hate when they do that. It doesn't really hurt the plant, but that's what it was growing when it was a little baby. And I'm gonna take that out. I will cut off some roots and clean it up. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to cut some of the dead roots. I'm also gonna cut this plug. Actually, we will actually just cut the roots. So we'll just go in there, cut that off. There we go. Okay, so here's a great example of a dead root. It is brown. You can see it's mushy, and you can see the velamen is actually gone on this one. So I'm just gonna chop it off and throw that out. I'm going to do that to the rest of the plant, and I'll come back once I'm finished. All right, this is what we're left with. It's actually quite healthy, so we are going to now find a pot I can put this in, and I'm gonna repot it. All right, I have my pot that I'm going to use. Press that in. And I do have the orchid bark and sphagnum moss that I'm going to use. And we are just going to put this in here. I think it'll work in this pot. Yeah. I will come back once I repot it because it is really hard to do things by one hand. And I'll come back once I'm done. I actually am going to go up in pot size. It was, I think, a little too small for that pot, so we've gone up just a little bit. Here's the orchid after being repotted. Now I'm going to tell you what to do with these flowers. What I'm going to do, and I think this will be very beneficial, is I am going to cut right before, let me find it. Come on. I'm going to cut it right here below this node, because you can see there is something right there. So if I go right here, if it wants to, it'll branch from there and get more flowers. Or what I can do is also just cut it all the way down, but just because I want to try, I'm going to cut it right there on all of them, and I'll come back and we'll see what happens. And I will give you updates as we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!